Okay, guys, we're getting ready to go dash. I'll be back to give you an update on how the day goes and give you some points and ideas for how you can do delivery and be a little more successful at it. I've been doing it for 4 years, so I kind of got an idea now of what to do and what not to do. The main thing I always do is if the order doesn't pay $1 a mile, I do not take it, because you got to make at least $1 a mile. By the end of the day, if you drive 200 miles, you want to make $200. To me, that makes it more profitable. Yeah, I mean, there's frustrating days out there, so don't let it get to you. I mean, you're gonna have not so good days. I'm just saying, don't burn yourself out over it. I work 3, maybe 4 days a week, and I'll generally, like those days, I'll work longer hours, so I can just have a few days off, because you're driving a lot and you don't want to. Obviously, since you're driving a lot, you don't want to, be out there all the time, because it gets monotonous and tiring. So you don't want to do it, any more than, like, I'd say 3 or 4 days a week. Now, I know guys that are out there 7 days a week, but they must not have nothing else to do, or maybe they just like the money. I don't know, but I would never do that. So, no, I'm not gonna lie. If I go to town for some reason, like I have to go pick my son up, or I go to the store or something in town where I normally work, I'll do 2 or 3 orders every time I go to town, if I go to town, because it does pay for your gas. So it's an easy way to, get gas money. You can make, $40, $50 on 3 or 4 orders. So yeah, it covers your gas. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not really working, in my opinion. That's just doing a few orders, for gas money. But those are some of my suggestions. But I always make sure that it's at least $1 a mile for the order. Yeah, I know there's a lot of small orders out there, which is ridiculous. We all know that DoorDash and all these apps are the ones making all the money. They don't really take care of their drivers like they should. Seems how we're the ones out there making the money. But that's just the way they are. So I know for a fact that DoorDash has an office person that they pay $450,000 a year. Come on, that's more than the president makes. So we know who's making the money, and I know how they're making it too. But they need to start treating their drivers a little better. So I'll be back with an update of how the day goes. So stay tuned. Hopefully I can give you some good pointers each time I go out and work. Try to upload a video, every time I work. Try to keep it short. Tell you how the day went, what I averaged an hour, how much I used for gas. Hopefully it'll be some good pointers for you. But the biggest one, like I said, is make sure you're making at least $1 a mile, because that's the only way it's really worth it, in my opinion. But alright, so I'll be back. Have a good day. I'm going to go out and work, and I'll update you on how it went.